Hey guys, it's Bob Herzog, the team success manager and the managing broker over at MyHomeGroup. And today I have Liz Kleven joining us. Thanks for coming, Liz. Liz is in charge of our UX program at MyHomeGroup, and it's an amazing program that over time I've just finally come to realize that it's probably something that our team leaders could really use. After meeting with several of the team leaders out there, I figure it's something that they could use, especially for those agents that haven't done a lot of transactions necessarily, but also for some of those agents that have, but are still rusty on some things. One of the biggest things that is lacking out there with a lot of teams that I see is a really good onboarding program. I will say that one of the best I've ever seen at MyHomeGroup is the K Grant Group. So there's a shout out to you guys. You guys rock it when it comes to the onboarding process. But a big part of onboarding is training new agents and or agents that just don't have that experience. So I've always kind of, when I ran a team at MyHomeGroup and before, when I was a broker, when I came to MyHomeGroup, I just thought of UX as like, oh, that's just where new agents go to learn real estate. But the more I've learned about the program, the more I've thought, oh my gosh, if I would have had this when I was running my team, especially for those agents that don't have a ton of experience, I would have put them in immediately, because one of the biggest time sucks for a team lead is exactly what they go over in the UX program, which now has been condensed down to 3 days. So, I mean, you're in and out in 3 days. It's super, super cost effective. But anyway, I'm going to let Liz kind of tell you about the program. And then if I have any other questions during that, I'll hop in, Liz, if you don't mind. But yeah, go ahead, Liz, take it away. Tell us more about UX and how our teams might be able to use it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bob. So UX training was launched, in 2017. So it's been actually maybe even soon, 16, I believe. So it's been in progress for years and years now. And what we really realized was a lot of new agents just don't get that foundation on how to build and sustain a successful real estate career. And training is kind of scattered and all over the place. So we wanted to put it together and package it in one program. We interviewed a lot of top teams, top broker owners, top agents on their best practices and built this program. So what it is it's a 10 module program that we now teach in 3 days, as you said, as a boot camp style course. And it's designed for agents to come in either fresh out of real estate school and learn kind of all of the fundamentals for success in real estate, or for an agent who's maybe been in the business for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had up to 30 years experience, but never really got to that income threshold that they were wanting. It's to teach them better habits and more efficient and effective ways to do business. So we start with a planning for success module that basically is kind of really shows them that they're a business owner and they have to run their real estate business as such. It sets expectations on kind of what their practices need to be. It outlines a financial plan for them, all of that kind of stuff. And then really teaches them what business activities they need to do to hit the number of units that they want to do in real estate, or if there's an income goal in mind. And from there, we go into database, which is such an important fundamental part of their real estate business, how to cultivate and market to a database to build a referral-based business. From there, we go into prospecting, and we talk about all the different ways to prospect and talk about how ultimately, if you don't prospect, you're not going to be successful. And that needs to be something that you do in your real estate business on a daily or weekly basis for sure, in order to have sustainable business. And from there, we go into lead generation, lead conversion, buyer consults, listing presentations. We have 2 contract modules. We go into time blocking and productivity, and then ultimately referrals and crafting a referral-based business. And along the way, we talk about business systems and all that in between. So It's a very comprehensive program. And the beauty is that it's not designed for any one system, not for one CRM, not for one style of agent. It's kind of meant to give them an overview of how to do business the right way, regardless of which system they implement as far as tech in their business. So it will work alongside any team here. And we've had a lot of new agents go through it, but we've also had a lot of experienced agents. And we've also had a few team leads do it. And now we have several teams that put all of their new team members through it as well.
That's great. One of the biggest things that I coach on when I'm coaching my team leaders is trying to stay within what Dan Sullivan calls your unique ability. Okay, the people that are running teams right now have a whole different mindset, right? They got there by selling the crap out of homes. They've got that process dialed in. They know how to call leads, to convert leads into sales. One of the biggest things that they're not so great at is exactly what UX does for them, which is taking that time to set up that foundation that, you get going so hard in this business and you forget about the basics a lot of times, the fundamentals, so to speak. Yep. And, I always struggled with it when I ran a team with, especially a newer agent that just got their license. You think, God, why the hell do these guys go to real estate school? It's like, what did they learn? Well, you don't learn how to sell real estate. You learn how to you lose your license.
Not get sued. Yeah,
exactly. So, as a team leader, that part of it takes up so much time. And if you don't have an organized setup for it, a system to get that training out, what you find is it just stops you all the time when you're in the middle of something very important. You have to stop what you're doing and train someone just so they can get to the next level on the deal they're working on or the lead they're calling or whatever. So it's just constantly a stop, start, stop, start. And it just ruins any momentum that you have. But I mean, if I would have had this, I would have used it in a heartbeat, even for those people that maybe have had their license a few years and you could just tell we're just rusty or just didn't have that good foundation in place. So that's awesome. Then if you can coach and teach within your unique ability, okay, like the specifics of how you run your team, rather than the basics of how to create a real estate agent, you're going to be way more effective and way ahead of the game. Because like you said, this program doesn't teach this is how you go out and sell houses. It teaches you, it's taught in such a way where it can be used at any team with any kind of lead source or, strategies and that sort of thing. It's just the basics, which is so critical. I mean,
I think he does a great job of setting kind of practical expectations as well for agents, because so many new agents have really no idea what they're getting into when they enter the business. And then also it teaches them where to find answers to questions that they may not know, but also gives them enough of a foundation that they're not asking all of those rookie questions over and over and over. They have at least a fundamental understanding of, where to find the things that they need. And they know kind of the real estate vernacular and vocabulary, so to speak, enough to feel a little bit more confident to go out and get business. And ultimately that's what team leads want, is they want agents who are ready to go out and get business, and they can train them on the specific way that they want them to do it, right? Or the specific systems that they want them to use as far as lead gen or whatever in their business. But it really takes somebody and takes them from, no knowledge to pretty intermediate knowledge level very quickly. And it saves a tremendous amount of time for a team lead, as you said, rather than having to kind of handhold and answer those questions one-on-one to an agent as they encounter them. They can avoid a lot of that and really focus on what matters most.
Right. And I think, most of our team leaders are out there still in production. Okay. They're still out there selling homes. So, and if they're not selling homes, they're not making money, especially at the first part, the first year or two of starting a team. You're not making a bunch of money off of your agents at that point. You need to keep that production level up to keep to keep paying the bills. This allows you to keep doing that. You're still going to have to do training and mentoring and hold your agents accountable and that sort of thing. But man, this sure saves a ton of time. The other thing, I think what you kind of hit on there, Liz, is these agents come out of real estate school and it's like bringing a new puppy home. They're scared to death. They have no idea what they just got themselves into. And to be able to send them through this 3-day boot camp thing is just really I think it's gonna give them some confidence walking in that office, like at least I know something. Okay.
It does.
Yeah. And that's awesome. So if they want to do this, I know that there's a cost involved with it. Kind of tell us what it costs to have an agent do this.
Absolutely. So we tried to make it a very cost-effective option, as all new agents need this, right? So the first option is it is a commission split out of that agent's first 3 transactions, $500 a transaction for their first 3 deals. So to overall cost of $1,500. The other option is if it's paid upfront, it's at a discounted fee. They take $250 off. So it's at a $1,250 fee. If it's paid upfront, that covers and satisfies all of their work fees. Now that is what a lot of team leads have chosen because it gets it right out of the way and they can recoup that cost however they see fit with that team member. But we have other teams that put them through on the commission split program and the agent pays that portion and or the team lead, however, really you decide to do it. But, it's ultimately very cost effective. They get over 20 hours of in-person training with myself. There's a few other teachers that come in and speak, as well as Todd or Camille, one of the brokers, who do the contract modules. So it's a really great value, and ultimately will propel them forward in their business. I promise.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
We've had some amazing testimonials. We've had over 200 agents go through the program since it started, and we've had quite a few that have made the leaderboard. A lot of the team leads that have gone through obviously probably had a lot of the foundational knowledge themselves, but they went through the program to really be able to better train their team members, or provide better structure for their team members. And others just send their team members through it because they trust the content at this point. So if anybody has questions, I know there are some team leads who would be happy to give some feedback or a testimonial for the program. Chelsea Bernabe, she went through it and puts all her team members through it. Carl Eisenberg did. Mike Sheehan did. I'm trying to think who else. Courtney Newgart. So a lot of the big team leads at MyHomeGroup have utilized the program successfully with their agents. And I'm sure you can feel free to reach out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's really cool. I didn't know those guys all did that. I mean, it really, when you really stop and think, it becomes a no-brainer. That 1250 thing, guys, think about this. Think about if you're running a team, what is your time worth to you? Okay. So $1,250, it's what, a 20-hour course, you said? I mean, 20 hours, $60 an hour. Okay. And this is a group, they've got this thing dialed in. They've got it, all the resources and everything right there to make it as efficient as possible. Just think of, I mean, you're going to spend a hell of a lot more than 20 hours teaching a new agent how to become a real estate agent. And that 20 hours that they're spending is probably going to be 60 hours to you if you take it, and how many times your day is interrupted with questions, or you're having to say, oh, call the broker hotline or call the agent helpline. The other thing about this is if you do adopt this and start using it on your team, I could see this being a huge recruiting tool. Okay. To be able to tell an agent, let's say you meet someone that just got their license and you really like them, I mean, just in your gut, this person probably has a really good chance of success, and they're interviewing with other teams. Think of how powerful that is to be able to say, hey, I'm going to send you to this 3-day boot camp to really learn the business before you even start here, so that you're more comfortable and we can hit the ground running. I mean, these are the little things that really allow you to attract top talent when you offer these kind of services. And it's getting more competitive out there. Agents are getting smart. They're asking a lot of questions of these team leaders because they've either been burned already by over-promising and under-delivering, or they have a friend or someone else in the industry that said, oh, be careful about teams. They'll tell you this and not do it and blah, blah, blah. So, Anyway, I don't think I have any other questions for you, Liz. I think this has been super valuable, and it'll be good for our teams to sit down and take a look at this and learn some more about it. If anyone needs to get a hold of you, what's the best way to reach you?
Great question. So the best thing is an email, uxtraining@myhomegroup.com. That gets to me and the agent success team. So either one of us can answer your questions right away. But I do encourage everyone to go to the website, uxtraining.com. Actually, I'm sorry, that's wrong. That's not the website. It's www.myhomegroup/UX training. uxtraining.com was taken, but and really check it out. There's a lot of great testimonials on there from agents who have gone through the program. It breaks down all of the module topics and what is covered within them. And then one thing I forgot to say that I wanted to make sure to touch on is they go through the in-person boot camp. They get all of their materials from that course with them, obviously all of the PowerPoints, all of the deliverables. And they go home with a binder that's about 300 pages of information. Wow. And really that is kind of the additional gold of the program, is they leave with this amazing resource that they can refer back to at any point when they have questions on a particular topic. In addition, we have built a virtual drive, a Google Drive, with all sorts of resources that are on there for them to refer back to at any point as well. So there are script books from all sorts, every type of script you could need is on there. There's a listing presentation and a buyer consultation that are completely customizable, so they can plug their info in and be ready to go if they have a buyer presentation tomorrow or something. There are tons of great resources for open houses and different things in there. So if a team doesn't have those resources to provide to their agents already, instead of having to go out and find one or talk to a power partner to get one, a lot of times they're already in there for the agent to use. So that's another awesome, really great value add that the program provides.
Oh yeah. You'd have to, God knows how many thousands of dollars and how many different coaches you'd have to go to get all this stuff, and then try to figure out how to put it all together and teach your team. I mean, I wouldn't even attempt it. Just hand them off to you guys and say, have at it.
I can tell you for sure it was years of work to put this program together. So
right.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Definitely are proud of it. And we do ask for agent feedback every time as well to enhance the program. So some of the team leads that have gone through it have given us really great feedback about something maybe to add or touch on. So it's constantly been improved and enhanced as well.
Right on. Okay. Well, Liz, thank you again for taking the time, guys. You guys know how to get a hold of Liz. You know how to reach me at MyHomeGroup. If there's any questions you have for either of us, just let us know. And thanks again, Liz, for coming on today and sharing this with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.